Hey guys, welcome to the Revenue Accelerator with your host, Kat Stancic, the lead boss. And I have today a featured guest, Amanda Goff. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Okay, good. People butcher my last name all the time. I hate doing it to others. So Amanda has got some unique takes in terms of, creating the visibility and consistency that you all are craving, that that I talk about, to be able to help people pop their hands up. So Amanda, tell us a little bit more about who you are and why you're so special.
Absolutely. So, as you said, Amanda Goff, and my company is Silver Keys Media. And I love, love, love to work with the business owners and entrepreneurs that know they need to do something different, but are not exactly sure what that next step is. They've done all the right things to start with, maybe need to refine some things, but move into visibility and actually really being bold and confident in their brand and business, refining that down and then translating that visually. So my background is in theater and film, and I also have 15 plus years experience in marketing. And so I've been able to kind of bring all of those things together. And I guess one of my, pieces of awesome sauce that makes me unique is that I'm kind of like really organized, but also really creative. So to be able to blend those two in a way that will boost your business, boost your marketing, and ultimately what it's all about is attracting the people you want to work with. Not everybody, not anybody, but those people you want to work with.
Yeah, that person you're like, I want 10 more of those. And
yes,
let me just go ahead and take that further down. We've got more clients, we're making more money, people. So it's increasing that impact and that income, so impact, income, and is it influence? Yeah, it's the trifecta. So haven't spun that out in a little while. So I loved how you talked about being bold, right? There's a lot of people who are out there, and let's be real, we get triggered by being too much, right? So how do you, I'm just, we're too much, not enough, right? It's one of the other things. So we've got the comparison monster going, and then we've got the, oh my God, like if I really show up as myself, grade school and high school trauma.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So how do you, what is it that you tell people when it comes to, being bold conceptually? Sure. But how do you help them step into that?
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's having the clarity in who you want to attract to and who you want to talk to. Ultimately, in marketing, all marketing across the board, from old school to new school, it's about
to COVID school.
To COVID school, exactly. Our new whatever this is to talk to the people that you want to attract. And it's as viewing them as a person. It's a conversation. You're building a relationship, whether you're directly speaking to someone on Messenger or you're going live and you're talking to them. People want to, have to think about how you want to be addressed. You want to be addressed and resonate. When you start to have clarity in who you are speaking to, you are more comfortable in stepping into who you are, because you're building a relationship with people you want to build a relationship with. You're not forcing something. And so those conversations become so much easier, and that personality starts to come out a little bit more, readily, because you're confident. And I think that is the huge key, is the clarity and the confidence allow you to have the boldness and to say, just, the haters can go away, or, squeaky peanut gallery, go away. You're not who I want. I want these people here. These are my people.
Well, and it's that chicken and the egg situation of how do you become confident and bold and declaring space and taking up space? And then how, what comes first, that or, the raving fans? And it's kind of the one begets the next, but it has to start somewhere. And I love that you're just saying, claim it. Essentially, right? Start doing it, and the raving fans will come, and that reinforces you and kind of helps nurture the fact that you need to step out and be you. It's hard being amazing and bold and out there.
It is. It is like,
And what, like, I loved, because you were kind of insinuating it, and we've talked about this on the side, but there's this huge, and I love that your business is called the 3 Silver Keys. It's the other key, which is the consistency, right? So why be consistent? Like, why show up at the same time, or why always post and stuff? Like, what's the deal with that, and how does that relate to income?
So consistency allows your followers, your fans, and the algorithms, for all sakes and purposes, to be comfortable with the content that you're putting out there. That consistency, that consistent action, allows the end user to start to get to know you and start to expect and be comfortable in what you're providing.
Mm.
What the consistency also allows is it allows you to start doing something on a regular basis to see if this is working or this isn't working. I actually have a group that I lead, a private group, and I was consistently showing up for a Q&A live and a few other little attributes in the group. There was an engagement. So now I'm mixing it up. I did it for 6 months, wasn't there. I'm asking for feedback. It's like, what can I provide that will allow those members to flourish, to succeed? So that consistency allows you two things: to provide that foundation, to provide the ability for people to get to know you and know what to expect. But it also allows you the ability to see what's working and what's not working, and how to make those changes. They can sometimes be slight,
Right.
and make a huge difference.
Absolutely. I love that. I mean, really helps also people get to know you, and, the consistency of being able to predict when you're going to come on live. I mean, it also creates that desire, and they're seeking, and you've kind of created a neural pathway in their brains, and they're like, I want more of, insert your name here.
Yes.
So what does, it's great to be consistent. It's great to do it. And I see, what I call sporadic Steve, right? So sporadic Steve kind of just shows up on this platform for a little bit, and then shows up over here, and then, disappears, and then comes back over here, and then maybe posts the same thing on all the platforms every single day, same time, right? So, what's your advice to sporadic Steve? And what's he doing right? What's he doing wrong?
So to sporadic Steve, what I would suggest is that you likely need a digital action plan or a plan in place. The reason you're probably sporadic is because you looked at your calendar, or you were on that platform and went, oh no, I've got to put something on there, or, oh, I forgot. If you don't have a plan for your action, you're just going to end up spinning out of control. And I've experienced this myself. So this is coming from my own experience and need for organization, especially as a highly creative, which a lot of people who are content creators or entrepreneurs, we're really creative and we hate the organization.
No.
But it can be really simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a Word document with a table, and you say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm doing X. You put it in your calendar, and then it's going to take a little time to get used to it, but you stick to it, and then you add more. I always call it the magic rule of 3. Pick 3 things, focus on them, refine them, master them, do them consistently. Then you can add more. Don't try and do all the things. Don't try and do, Pinterest and TikTok and Snapchat and because
master
you
them
won't
first,
do,
and then
you won't do
add
it.
variety. Yeah.
Yeah. You won't show up consistently. You'll be sporadic, and people don't like sporadic. Sporadic and confusion will cause the brain, whether the person realizes it or not, they'll see, inconsistency. They'll see not a lot of
No
clarity, and they'll go,
congruency. Yeah.
exactly, and they will bounce because they are confused and they don't want to make a decision within confusion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, confused mind never buys, right? So if your content is out there and it's causing confusion, or it's, it's not aligning, then that's not helping the person making a buying decision, which is what your content should be all about. So,
Yes.
we've talked about, consistency. We've talked about platform. So is there a platform? So let's talk a little bit more about platform. Is there a
Sure.
platform that you recommend one over the other when it comes to being a coach, consultant, or service provider?
I will say that Facebook is probably still our bread and butter in a lot of ways for many entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
because it's the demographic that's on Facebook is still that buying demographic,
Mm.
that community. It allows a lot of connection. You've got groups, you've got, you know, breakout rooms, you've got all these things. And I will say that people will almost go to Facebook before they go to your website,
Mm.
because they want to see and check into your,
Validate your butt.
credibility.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, there's definitely others that you can add in depending on your industry.
Mm.
For coaches, for teachers, for people with masterminds or programs, I would say LinkedIn would be a really good secondary platform, because you're dealing with business professionals or other
Mhm.
professionals, because it's probably the second best, platform for
Mhm.
that.
Totally. And then, so you
So
have a
yeah.
unique take because a lot of people are out there saying, pick one platform, master it, don't add anything else to it. But that's not actually how you roll. You have a different philosophy. So can you share with us like your differentiator there?
Yeah. So for me, again, it goes back to, where are your
Where they
ideal ones,
where they hanging out? Yeah.
where's your who, and figure out where they're hanging out. Because if you're hanging out and they're not hanging out there, like, you're just wasting your time.
Mm.
So Facebook is great because you should have a presence there, and most of your ideal clients are going to be somewhere in there.
Hmm.
You're going to find a group. I would refine down and niche down so that you are spending intentional time in places that you're connecting with real people.
Hmm.
You're engaging with real people. But one platform is not necessarily going to give you the foundation, the digital footprint. And that's really kind of what, especially now, it's all about, is that how wide is your digital footprint?
Mm.
It doesn't have to be, again, you don't have to do all the things, but being able to choose maybe one or two more that you can consistently show up, doesn't
Mm.
mean every day, but make a little thumbprint of your brand, of your personality and your business there. Then people have, they look at, oh, she's in 3 spots and she has a website. Oh,
Hmm.
okay, I can trust this person,
Right.
which is really funny because, it's
Well,
funny
if
that
they're
a
hanging
consumer
out there.
like that. Exactly.
Right. So if you've got an ideal client and you're like, yeah, they're totally on LinkedIn, and then they're like, well, that person's probably on Facebook and in all likelihood on Instagram, since, well, Facebook owns Instagram. You might as well
Yes.
leverage. And the thing that I've always noticed and I talk about is these platforms are like 95% the same. So when you do one thing on one
Yes.
platform, it's easy to repurpose it and re-leverage it, right? Putting that effort into creating ease. And that's part of what you do with your clients is figure out a way to, re-leverage the same information across the platforms. What's your unique methodology
Absolutely.
for being able to help them do that?
Yeah. So the big thing is, it goes back to that plan. If you know what you're going to do consistently, then actually in 6 months from now, the content you did 6 months, that first month
Hmm.
on Facebook, you can actually then repurpose that and start placing that maybe even 3 months, because you have to think the thread is so it's so long, the news feed. Um, you can put that on LinkedIn. You could put that on Instagram in a different spin. You can take a live video, and I do some training on this where, don't talk about being on Facebook. You make it a little bit more generic.
Mm.
You can then download that video and chop it up and put it other places.
Yeah.
So the time you're spending on one live video, um, and knowing that topic, being an expert in that topic, you can take that one video and it can go 3, 4, 5, so many more places. And that's what allows you to go from one or two platforms
Mm.
to then starting to layer on other platforms, and you're not really putting that much more effort forward. You're taking what you've already done and just giving it a different candy wrapper.
Nice. Um, so you've got something that, you work with specifically with your clients, which, kind of encapsulate everything that we talked about today, the consistency, the platform, the visibility. And you do something that I love, because I do this with my clients too, which is what I see a lot of people not doing, which is tracking. So what is important about tracking? Because you start, again, we were hitting on that organizational kind of get your shit together kind of situation with entrepreneurs, and you're like tracking
Mm-hmm.
numbers. What? No, I'm not doing it. So
Ah.
what is it that you track? What are you looking for?
So tracking, ultimately, you need to track your return on investment. So you need to start tracking where you're getting connections from.
Mm.
And you need to start having a way, whether it's a spreadsheet, which I know is old school, but it works.
I still do a lot of my tracking by spreadsheet.
It's
So
it's cheap, it's there, and you can upload it in a lot of places. So let's say you start having a conversation with someone, they contact you on Facebook Messenger, ask the question, hey, where'd you hear about me? Or you might already know,
mm-hmm.
they're from the Lady Boss group that you're part of or something. And make sure you note that, because as you start to track, ultimately, really what matters is we're making connections that then result in us making clients or
Mm-hmm,
making
mm-hmm.
those business relationships. And once we know where we're having the most impact, you can then in 2 or 3 months go, gosh, I'm going to, try and connect with the leaders of that group and see if I can't come in as an expert and offer a free webinar or something
Mm-hmm.
that will give you more visibility in that group if you're already making an impact anyways. Yeah, you can look at analytics, you can look at, but clicks and likes and all those things, they've really proven, I mean, yes, engagement is great and you want to have engagement, but ultimately it comes down to the relationships and the leads, so to speak, that you're getting. Where
Mm.
are they coming from? And
Mm-hmm.
how are you making those connections?
Beautiful. So you have something that you want to share with our audience. And I'm sure there's some listeners out there who are like, I need to know more. I need help getting my plan together and getting organized and making sure that I'm tracking everything and boosting that visibility. So how can they learn more about you? And you actually have something for them today.
I do, yes. So you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn at Silver Keys Media. I also have a free community. It's called Visual Vibe Society that is on Facebook. It is you have to answer a few questions so that I can keep the riffraff out. But if you search Visual Vibe Society, and you'll know by the little icon, it's a bright green eyeball. You can ask to join, and I would love to have you. There, we talk each month about a specific theme. We dive in with some challenges or some action items to help you get more visible and visual in your brand and business. It's just a community where we can share ideas, and I offer some value pieces in there. And then I also have a freebie. It's called 3 Ways to Get Digital Now ebook. And we'll be sharing the link where you can sign up to get that delivered in your inbox.
Awesome,
And
guys.
that's, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and that it talks a little bit about, it talks about 3 ways, we talked about today, and a little bit more to get you on your way to being digital.
Nice. It's always great to increase that digital footprint. So we'll make sure that we have that link for you guys in the show notes. Any parting words, any advice that you'd like to share with the listeners today?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing as a business owner is to realize that you are worth it.
Mm.
You are worth pursuing your passion. You are worth pursuing this. We may be in difficult times right now, but keep moving forward, keep taking actionable steps, and it will be fruitful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's been great to connect.
Thanks.